Good.
There you go.
Okay, we got it.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you very much. We're all good now.
Boy, that's a bright,
Yeah.
Right,
wanna
right.
stand off the side a little?
like you're on TV or
Yes.
something here.
Okay, I don't need to record it.
Nope, nope.
I'm Ed Evans, the president of the Kids Up Computing Seniors, and I'm very happy to be here. Very excited about the fact that we are now working, and you can see it's a work in progress to get to where we are now. But the in-person has really been a good thing for this organization. I got to thinking about that when I was coming up to the into Silverdale. We used to meet at the community center right over here in Silverdale. Then we went down to Lebo, and now we're back up here in Silverdale. And it might be more convenient for you folks from Baltimore or whatever. But we come in from Port Orchard, we have to deal with doors. Okay, I'd like to compliment all of the staff here at the Silverdale. They have been very helpful in getting us started here, and we hope that we'll continue to be here on the third Monday of every month, except January and February, where we have a holiday. Then we'll scoot back to the second Monday in each case. But if you go to our website and go into the our newsletter, then you'll have all the information that you need and how you can get in or come in here. Your speaker today is Kayla O'Connor. And on my left, she's the teen service librarian here at the Silverdale Branch. And she holds a BA at University of Notre Dame. I'll get my tongue out. And an M, she's going to explain this one, MLIS from University of Washington. Her favorite thing about working in the library is helping connect teens with tools for their success. And maybe we can have them come in here and help us too. Her presentation will include an overview of the materials that are here, and I was fortunate to be here when they cut the ribbon. It's beautiful, and there's so much here, highlighting the technologies that are here, the computers in here, database and other materials that are more relevant to the Kids App Computing seniors. I'm sure she'll have opportunity for you to ask questions, but please welcome Kayla O'Connor. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here today. I hope that everyone can hear me. Do you want me to take this off? Yeah, okay. All right.
Can you guys at home hear?
Yes.
Can you all hear me? I'll try and project as much as I can. I'm used to talking to classes of teenagers, so I'm working on my projection because they don't like to listen all the time. But I do love working with the teens. They're really wonderful. So welcome to the branch. If this is your first time in, we just opened in April. So it's been just about 6 months that we've been in this brand new location. If it's your first time, welcome. If it's been here before, welcome back. So this is a little bit of an overview of opening this new branch. This little blurb talks about 2015, but it had been long before that. It has been over 30 years that we have been waiting for a new Silverdale Library branch. A lot of you probably visited the old branch in Old Town. It was a lovely branch. It served us very well and it was well loved, but we had outgrown it a long time ago. Our foot traffic was on par with the Sylvan Way branch, which is obviously much bigger than that. And if you ever tried to park down there, you know that it was a nightmare because we had 10 parking spaces in a very badly laid out parking lot. So we were in dire need of a new place to accommodate all the growing Silverdale area and the different things that were here. So in 2015, we started a real effort to raise the funds to get the new branch. You probably heard that we had purchased a different plot of land over by the Safeway in Silverdale. Originally, that was where we were going to be, but then the Central Kids App School District came to us with a proposal to partner together. They were moving into their new high school and this building was going to be empty. And it turned out that we would get in here faster for less money and more space. And so it worked out really well for everyone. It's also been super fun. We have lots of alum come in and say, oh, this is where I used to have lunch when I went to high school here and that kind of thing. So it's very nice to be able to repurpose a building that used to serve the community in one way and now serves the community in a new way. Excuse me. Yeah, so our old building was just over 4,000 square feet. So we have gotten so much more of a footprint here in the new building. And I've got some more info. I can send out these links. There's an impact report from our Kitsap Regional Library Foundation that has a really great rundown of all the wonderful things that have happened in the build-up and the campaign to open the library. And there's also a lovely video from the grand opening on April 2nd. If we have time at the end, I can show you that, or I can send it out to you later. There's a lot of really great new features in this building. The picture up here is our children's reading loft. It is a big hit. It's a really fun little treehouse type structure where we have the littlest ones can go up and read and play all sorts of imaginative games. It's one of my favorite things is sitting at the help desk and hearing them talk about it as a princess castle or whatever it is that day. It's very fun. We have 2 large meeting rooms. We're in one of them. This is the Salish room. Its capacity is 73 people. There's another large meeting room upstairs. It's called the Rainier Room, and its capacity is 78 people. I think it's roughly 5 more upstairs. We have these 2 large meeting spaces. There are 4 study rooms that hold up to 4 people in them. 2 of them are reserved for teenagers on a first come, first served basis. That's because the new Central Kitsap Middle School and High School are just up the hill. And if you ever come in the afternoons, you will see that the kids flock down the hill to come down here and spend their afternoons here after school, studying, reading, hanging out. And so we wanted them to know that they are welcome and an important part of the library. So there are 2 study rooms that they get first dibs on. And then we also have 2 what we call phone booths. They don't have a phone in them, obviously. Most people have their phone with them, but they are just a little like 1-seat room. So if you need to step in and take a phone call, you maybe have a Zoom interview or something and you need a quiet place to do that, you can come into the library, reserve one of those phone booths and borrow it. Or if you just want a quiet place to read, sometimes it does get a little loud in the library. You can shut yourself in there. This new building has 25% more shelf space than the old building. And so we're slowly increasing our collection and getting some new materials here. Hopefully there's more stuff that you don't have to wait for it to come from another branch. As I mentioned before, our parking lot was abysmal at the old branch. We have over 100 parking spaces in this new parking lot. It was a big selling point when we were talking about it with the community, and it has worked out really well. Even on days when we have all sorts of meetings and different things going on, I haven't heard too much complaint about the parking. So hopefully it works out really well. And then we also have a lovely playground out on the grounds that was donated by the Friends of the Silverdale Library. And it is a huge hit. It's really fun to see all the kids run out there to play with their new books and all sorts of fun things. So there's a lot of really great features in this library. I also think it's worth pointing out that there's just so much more light and space to sit. We've tried to make it a much more welcoming place. A lot of people at the old library just came to pick up their holds and then leave. And that was fine. We're happy to be that place, but we have a more welcoming environment here for people to come in and sit down and do what they need to do and maybe spend a little more time in the library because there's more space for them now, which we are happy to have and provide.
Kayla,
Yes.
a person has commented, could you move your podium a little bit to the left?
Well, I think she's trying to stay out of the
Yeah, I'm
screen.
trying not to stand directly in the light because
Well,
then
we
I'll be
can
doing
do-
this the whole time.
I think what would be better is if we move the camera over a little bit so that we have a better angle on the approach, so we can see both you and that screen at the
Alright.
same time. There we go.
That's much better. A little bit more, James. There, perfect.
Perfect.
Good.
We're much better. Thank you.
Okay. Since we kind of took a little break, does anyone have any questions so far about the new building, the old building, anything like that?
Yes, you need a tree house for seniors. And also you didn't mention the geese that welcome us out there this morning.
That is true. At this point, I feel like we need a treehouse for every age group because everyone seems to want a treehouse. Occasionally we have to chase some teens out of there. They get their study rooms, the kids get a treehouse, but I'm all for a treehouse for everyone. And we do have a large goose population that likes to hang out on the lawn that we have out there. They're mostly friendly, and lots of little kids like to run after them as they're going through to the playground. But yeah, we have a lot of bird friends out on this new lawn that we have, which has also been really fun to be able to have some outdoor programs in the summer, get kids outside playing, celebrating summer reading and those kind of things. So we're excited about the indoor and outdoor spaces that we have at the library. Any other questions?
That's what I'm looking for the light switch right
Yeah.
now.
What do you need?
Is there a light switch
For
to
the-
turn these off?
Turn these off? Yeah.
Yeah.
I will be right back. Not very conveniently located.
Oh, there it is.
Didn't do that.
That's much better.
Okay, much better.
That's perfect. Thank you. Sorry for the technical difficulties,
No,
everybody.
that's okay. It's definitely not just you. This is all new technology. We've never had these meeting rooms before, so everyone that comes in here, and even us, we run programs in here and we're constantly trying to figure things out. Like, I didn't actually want that screen to also show my presentation. Don't know how to turn it off. It won't do it. So we're just constantly learning and growing and figuring things out. It is kind of convenient because that way I can look up there instead of down here. But yeah, so all of this technology is new. If you're ever interested in renting one of these large meeting rooms, obviously you've got some Kids Up Computing Seniors meetings coming up, but the public can rent them as well. It's been really fun to see. We've had birthday parties and baby showers and class reunions and all sorts of community meetings. So there's a variety of things. They don't cost anything to rent either. You can bring food to your meetings as well. And so it's just figuring out how we can use these spaces and how to use the technology. So it's always a fun process to try and figure that out. Do you have a question?
So you said the birthday parties and so forth. So my question is for future meetings, could we have a coffee pot?
You absolutely could. Yes, you can bring in snacks and coffee and drinks and things. We have a sink and hand washing station and everything back there specifically for that reason, so that people can do that. It's not a full service kitchen or anything, but it does have that nice thing. All we ask is that you clean up after yourselves if you bring snacks, or even if you don't, still clean up after yourselves. So those are the study rooms. You can either call us to reserve them. I will say, as soon as you know the dates, give us a call, because Silverdale is constantly in need of meeting room space, so we're booking up pretty fast. So if you know a date, give us a call, or there's an email as well. It's silibrary@krl.org. And that's all on our Silverdale Library page on the website.
So we could do a standing date and get that into your computer program now.
Yes, so it's each organization or like group of people can have the room 12 times in a calendar year. So yeah, if you have a standing date that you want to use those 12 times, we can get those in as soon as we can. Do you have a question back there?
Yeah, what would the hours of operation?
That's a great question. So it's always a little weird to say out loud. On Mondays, we're open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 a.m. to 7. Thursdays, and then Thursdays through Saturday, we go back to 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So those are our hours, and your meetings do have to be within those hours because we have to be here to lock the library and do all of those kind of things. So anytime in those hours, we're happy to do. Those hours might change and expand in the future, so just stay tuned for that. Any other questions? All right, I will keep going along. So I hope that most of you have a library card. If you don't, we're always happy to make you one. It's really easy. And so there's all the standard things that you can do with your library card. I brought a couple of things with me. This little welcome to Kitsap Regional Library packet that we give out will tell you a lot of things. Like, you can check out 100 physical items on your library card if you want to. I always say, especially to parents with little kids, I don't recommend it, because that's really easy to get lost and also a lot to carry. We have so many books and things, audiobooks, all these kind of things, but it's not just books at the library. We also have ukuleles you can check out. We have video games. We have early learning kits for little kiddos that have all sorts of activities that help them refine their motor skills and all those kind of things. You can actually check out a Discover Pass with us and use that to go check out the Washington State Parks, which is really great. Those are all the physical things you can check out, but there are a lot of online resources and databases that you get access to with your library card. So this is where I'm going to start moving around to our website a little bit. This is our research tab. It is a treasure trove of things that a lot of people I don't think know about. There's so much in here. I just like to highlight a few that might be interesting. You can get access to ancestry.com. This one you have to be in the library to use it, but you can get on there on any of our computers. We have more of those now too, so there's always some available. You can get on there and access ancestry.com. Let's see. Other ones, consumer reports. You can access all of consumer reports online with the library. We've got, there's a bunch of things in here that might be interesting to you. You can get access to different newspapers. KidSun just changed their online format, so it's a little wonky right now, but we do have physical paper as well. LinkedIn Learning is a great option. With your library card, you can log into all of the LinkedIn Learning classes. They have all sorts of classes about computer things. If you want to learn how to use PowerPoint or all of those kind of things, there's lots of different classes in there, and your library card gets you access to those for free. So you log in the first time, this little library ID will help you log in that first time, but then as soon as you're logged in, it will remember the different classes you've taken, it will remember your progress, and you have access to all of those. So that's a really great resource. Mango Languages is another one that's really fun. Try and learn a new language. It'll walk you through a bunch of different lessons digitally. I think that one's great. Some more newspapers. We have the New York Times, all sorts of things, databases, ProQuest, if you're doing any research on anything. There's so much to be found on here. Sorry for the quick scrolling, makes me a little dizzy. Another one I like to point out is Bookmatch. If this isn't a source that we bring in from the outside, this is actually, if you fill out a Bookmatch form, a librarian will give you a recommendation list for your books. You say, oh, I really love to read thrillers, and here are the last 3 that I really liked, but I hate this author, please don't recommend them to me. We'll curate a list of 5 to 7 books and send you those recommendations back. It's really fun for librarians to do that. We like a challenge. If you're like, oh, I'm kind of hard to pick for, we're happy to do that. But it's a nice way to maybe change up your reading list or get to know some new authors as well. So all of this is available to you for free. Oh, I meant to say with Ancestry, the Sylvan Way Genealogy Center is open again. It was closed for a long time due to COVID, but it is open again. You can check out their page on here for 12 to 4. You know, are you one of the volunteers? All right, so you've got that. So yeah, they're a great resource, and we're really happy that you're open again. Any questions about any of those online resources? Anything you can get with your library card? Yeah.
There was one that I use all the time called Puget Sound Checkbook, which is sort of like Consumer Reporter, where they rate things in the area. Is that something you could get access to?
That is a
I
great
didn't see it.
question. I don't think it is in there.
It's not free, Larry.
What?
It's not free. You have to subscribe to it.
Well, neither is Consumer Report.
Yeah, I would say the easiest way to find out about that is to either ask us at the desk or send us an email, and then we can look into it. They might have a institutional guide that we could apply to, and not saying it will for sure happen, but we always love to hear that. That goes for anything really. If you ever have a book or a database or anything like that, you're like, I think this would be really great for the library, please ask. That's why we're here. We love to answer questions and solve problems. So if there's something that you think might be helpful, can't guarantee that we will get it, but we will look into it for you to see if it's maybe something that we could do. That's how we've gotten some of the different things that we have, like, where is it? Yeah, we now have a video streaming service called Curiosity Stream. It has a lot of really great like nature documentaries and fun stuff like that, and it was suggested to us by a patron. So it's something that someone thought this would be really great, and then we figured out that we could make it work. So there are options for that. Same thing goes for, you can send us emails. We also have comment cards at the desk. So anything that you feel like letting us know about, and it doesn't have to be bad either. You can always leave good comment cards. We like those as well. They let us know that we're doing good things. So that is all under our research tab here on the library. This is the whole thing, but you can limit it by different resources if you'd like. Yeah.
Could you demonstrate what you just said about Curiosity Stream, like put in a show that maybe somebody would be interested in, and yet they would have to subscribe, normally?
I don't have this is a shameful secret as a librarian. I don't have my library card number memorized, so I can't log in at the moment. Don't tell anyone. I've worked here for 4 years and I haven't memorized my number.
Can a guy from out of state get a library card?
Can someone from out of state?
Yeah,
You have to be a Kitsap resident. Yeah, we can't get an out-of-state library card. We do have reciprocal agreements with all of the Puget Sound area libraries. I think there's a way to get a temporary pass. Like if you're in the area for a while, we can work with you if you come into the library. But if you go over to King County or Seattle Public or Timberland or Snow Isle and show them your Kitsap Regional Library card, they will give you one of their cards.
He's in Michigan, so that's.
Oh,
not
that's a
gonna
little farther away, yeah.
My library card number.
Oh, did you want me to do Curiosity Stream? Do you know your password for it, Tim?
Yeah.
All right. See. Hold on, let's see if it'll let me. Nope. Well, while we figure that out, did you have a question as well?
I do have a question. So those things up there that you can access,
Yeah.
okay, sorry, I don't.
Is it the microphone?
Oh, okay. Is that something that you have to be in the library to access, or do you, once you have your library card, can you access it from your own home on your own?
That's a great question. You can access it from your own home on your own computer. There are some like Ancestry that will say access only available within the library, but it will tell you that up front. You can still get to the research page, still see that it's a service that we offer, but it will let you know you actually can't access this unless you come into the library. But a lot of the things you can access as soon as you're logged in with your library card from anywhere, which is really fun. Another question.
There a time limit on those computers?
Yes, that is a great question. So when you log in, you get an hour a day on the computers. That's logging in with your library card number or with a guest pass if you forget it at home. But if you need more time than that, we have 20 computers now, so we don't really run into, they're all full. So if you're ever like, oh, and the computer will pop up a little warning saying you have 10 minutes left on your session. If you need more time at that moment, you can come up to the desk and say, could you extend my computer session? And we're happy to extend it in 30-minute increments. Or if you're coming in, we have people who come in and they're like, oh, I'm trying to fill out a job interview, or oh, I'm trying to take a test right now. Could I just have a 2-hour block so that I don't have to get up in the middle of a test? We're happy to do that as well. So we try and accommodate and make things as easy as possible. All right, let's see if we can get. See, it'll require me to make you an account. Do you want to make an account for Curiosity Stream in front of everyone?
Sure.
Okay, first name,
Carolyn, Carolyn,
last name.
McLaren, McLaren.
All right, and what's your email address?
Pardon?
Email address?
Bremlady, BREMLADY 9527 @gmail.com.
All right, I'll enter this. Okay. You want your password, please?
9527.
Oh, it has to be at least 6.
Oh, 6
6, yeah, it has to be at least 6.
01.
All right, you got it. You're gonna fall over. No, I won't save your password. Thank you for being my guinea pig. So this is, there's all sorts of things on here. It is not Netflix or anything like that. It doesn't have all of the latest and greatest new things, but if you want to browse a collection and you're really interested in science and you really want to know about space, there's a lot of great stuff on here. So you have access to all of this for free with your library card, which is really fun. Any other questions? I'm gonna log you out so that I don't stay logged in and watch things on your account, I promise. Yeah, there's a lot of different things. And then we also have a variety of classes and events at the library. This Inspire Light, this is just the digital version online, or you can also go to view all here and see the calendar. It will tell you all the things happening at all 9 branches. If you want to limit it by your closest branch, you can, or by type of program or by age group that it's designed for, you can. We put out one of these each month and they have all the different things going on at the branches. So we have a lot of different stuff that's happening all the time at the libraries for people to enjoy. Another great service that the library offers is mobile services home delivery. If you or someone you know can't get to one of the branches, you can sign up for mobile services and we will bring books to you in order to get once a month. There's an application, we have these available at our help desk as well, or you can fill it out online, either one. So we have a lot of different ways. We really just want to make sure that everyone who wants services at the library can get the services of the library. Another thing that people might not know is that we went fines free a few years ago. So we don't charge daily late fees for books. Again, we want people to not be afraid of us at the library. We don't want them to think that they're in trouble. If you keep things 3 weeks longer than your due date, you'll see a charge for it, so it'll get marked as lost. As long as you bring that back, that charge will go away. We really don't want to penalize you for using the library. We want to remove as many of those barriers as possible. And some people worry that means that people won't bring their items back, that they won't be responsible. We did, because we're nerds and we like data and we're librarians, we did a comparison about how many books stay overdue, and the change was not significant. So it's about the same, no matter if we're charging people daily or not. So that's really fun. We also do automatic renewals to try and make your life easier. So if no one has hold on the item that you have checked out, it'll just automatically renew it for another 3 weeks. It'll do that up to 3 times. I use that all the time, even though I'm here every day. So it's very convenient. Any other questions about library services or events? Yeah.
Are your book groups in person now?
I think most of them are. I know Silverdale is, but you can find that out on this page, actually. If you look for book groups and then you search, yes. So it will tell you, like, the Kingston Thriller book group is still virtual.
You've got all of them.
Yes, so we have all of them listed here, and it'll always tell you when you're looking either online or in this one. In Inspire, it will tell you if it's either virtual, in person, or a hybrid, because we are also still doing some both. Because again, we also don't want to lose people who can't be out in the world right now or don't feel comfortable. So we've got a variety of things going on. But just be sure to double check that, because we have had a couple people come in for something that is actually virtual, and we're happy to set them up at a computer here, but it's probably nicer to just stay home and save yourself the gas money. So
When I was here previously, there was still building going on in here, and is it finished now? Have you totally got all the space finished?
that is a great question. So our part of the space, yes, is all finished. So this building is owned by the Central Kitsap School District, and we are a tenant on the first floor, so that the library part is our part. All of our construction is finished. Eventually, the school district administration offices are going to go upstairs. They are currently in the Jenny Wright building, which was our old neighbor down in Old Town. And they will go upstairs. They haven't finished their part of the building. They're not currently in active construction, but at some point that will have to happen. And hopefully we can keep it as minimally invasive as possible, but there will be some more construction up there. But yeah, all of the library construction is done. There's a couple of cosmetic things that are not done. There is a large donor wall that is honoring the donors who helped us to build this lovely library. And it is a glass installation from Lisa Surratt. It is still being created because it has glass and I think some metal and definitely some light features. And so it wasn't quite ready yet. So that still has to go in. And then we've also got some art coming from the Suquamish tribe that we're still waiting to hang as well from once we get that. But those are not construction features. So those will eventually go in as well. Any other questions? Yeah.
What happens in a book group?
A book group, so they pick books and everyone reads them. They usually meet monthly. You'll all read the book and then come together to talk about it, usually with snacks if they're in person and everyone feels comfortable. So yeah, there's a variety of different book groups at different locations. Hopefully there would be one that would meet your schedule. Yeah.
Is there a designated area in the library where one can come in and just browse and look for magazines or something like that without wanting to check one out, just to browse?
Yeah, that's a great question. We don't have
Can
it.
we repeat the
Sure,
question?
yeah, I can repeat the question. So the question was, is there a designated area if you want to just come in to browse a book or a magazine, but you don't want to check it out? We don't have a designated area for that, but you are always welcome to do that. Feel free to take anything off the shelf, have a seat. Our current magazines, like the most recent edition, doesn't check out, so it is just for browsing in the library. And you can take that wherever in the library, have a seat and get comfortable. All we ask is that you don't try and reshelve it yourself when you're done with that. We have carts throughout the branch that say place books here when you're done with them if you don't want to check them out. So just put them on those carts. Partially it's for little kids try really hard to put them back in the right spot and they don't always get it right. But also we take the numbers on those books as well because we do a lot of data analysis. We look at what circulates and we still want to know that, oh, this was interesting enough for someone to pick it up, maybe read it. Those numbers are important to us. So we scan them before they go back on the shelf. So just set them on one of those carts that are out there for you. But yeah, feel free to take as much off the shelves and hang out here as you want. Any other questions?
Thank you for an excellent presentation.
Oh, thank you.
And hoorah for the new library.
Yes.
Lovely.
Indeed. Like I said, there is, I guess that was my any question slide, but there is a really great video and I can send you the link to that just has a lovely highlight of the opening day. We had 1,400 people in here and lots of excitement. So, and there's some beautiful shots of the new building.
How long is that video?
I want to say it's 8 minutes. It's 8 minutes.
Go
You want, yeah,
for it.
you want to watch it? All right,
Go
let's
for that.
see.
Then I have a question.
You got it. Let me see.
This was quite a day.
It would probably be best for us to actually screen share the video if we were going to do it that way. So the people online could actually see it better than this
Right.
This is very dim.
I'm not in the Zoom, so I can't screen share it, but I can.
I can do
It's on
this.
the Kitsap Regional Library YouTube page.
Let me, I'll just go there right now.
Sure.
Watch V equals BXV PR to FCRG. Right, screen share.
Do you wanna
For people on the call, I'm going to be screen sharing now to play a video presented by the Kitsap Regional Library.
Do you want to plug your computer into the HDMI so that we can all watch it together?
Sure.
Just if that's okay. with
Yeah,
you,
that's perfectly fine.
just because I'm not on the Zoom, so.
No worries.
Good in a perfect world. Just pull up your screen now.
It should. I might have to do a little toggle or
There's
something.
my face.
Oh, do you have permission to do this?
Oh, no, I just need to get it set up on my computer real quick.
Oh,
It should be a mirror. Crestron.
This is what I was talking about with all of our fun, technology, changes. Occasionally it gets mad if you unplug things.
Yeah, that's what I think it might be mad at me right now. Display settings, Crestron. Mirror. So it should be mirroring.
Yeah,
Optimized
you're
for
up
there we go.
there. It just doesn't want to give me, I'm gonna turn the projector off and then we're gonna turn it
Okay.
back on again.
We have
First rule.
plenty of,
issues.
yes.
Turn off and on again.
Great, hard place,
Yes,
very nice.
we like it a lot.
Thank you for your patience, everybody who's online, while we get this, hopefully in a way we can all enjoy it a little bit better.
Okay.
Christie. Look at that.
1080, 1920 by 1080, 60 hertz. That is clearly not working. I don't know.
Yeah, you're back there, but it doesn't wanna. This is not a you problem, it is an our screen problem. Our children's librarian, Aaliyah, has this problem during story time sometimes where an excited child will pull a cord out and then it derails the whole story time because you can't see the.
Let me try this.
And just put it on her screen and I go to speaker only. I can see the whole screen real plain.
Oh, I'm not logged in. My screen isn't attached to the Zoom.
That's why we're, yeah, let's see. I'm gonna give this one more shot. I'm just trying different resolutions to see if anything sticks. Otherwise, we could just try it the way it was set up.
Yeah, because if you said you put her computer on the screen, then I go to speaker only, it brings up the full screen. It comes in real clear.
Yeah, none of the options I have are getting it to show on this, so
Let's
well, it was worthy
see
endeavor, worth the
if
shot.
it will. We might have anchored it fully now, though.
Alternate case, I could just sign in with Zoom real quick on your laptop.
Still give me that one. Haha.
Perfect, all right.
That's good.
Secret code.
Oh, do I need to log into your Zoom?
What would you like to? Oh, I guess. we could-
Or how does it look for people at home when it is made to be full? Oh, it went away.
Yeah, if I go to speaker
There it is.
only and you put it on full screen, it's perfect.
Okay,
Both of them there.
all right, let me.
Wow, that's a nice library.
You see, technology is best.
Are you playing? No.
That's good.
Oh, this has to be, hold on, I've gotta adjust. What is the music? Why are you playing music? That's me, sorry.
Silverdale Regional Library.
Kitsap Regional Library, Silverdale. Here you go.
This, thank you. Okay. Now I'm gonna try and blast everyone's ears out. Is that too loud?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, we'll get there.
Libraries are books, but libraries are people.
The libraries play a crucial role in the community in that we're safe and welcoming spaces. You don't have to make a certain amount of money. You don't have to be a particular race. You just have to be able to have an interest to learn.
I just think it's a great place to go after school and study and be able to have access to resources that we maybe wouldn't have at the school.
The fact that we come together in partnership to renovate an existing building where the history of Central Kitsap is located, it's pretty darn cool. Our staff and the people that have supported libraries and the donors in the community that know how important libraries are, that's what makes a community. Well, I'm Betty Coster, and I have been part of the library since about 1960, 69, before the old present library, and certainly before this new library. So that puts me back a few years. At the time we got involved with the library, we had young kids. Of course, they were all going to Silverdale Elementary School. And the only library in town was the old chaplain's office that came with the barrage balloons when the barrage balloons were flying over Silverdale during the Second World War. Every day from elementary school, a little classroom would come over and they would get to pick up books and go back. Basically, we helped the elementary school with children knowing how to use a library. In about 1970, 69, 70, Ray Hess and Catherine Hess, bless their souls, decided we needed to have a library that was actually a library. They got a group together and we were asked to come. We met, thought, how can we do this? Thank heavens, we had wonderful people in the community. And we had an architect, Don Setter. Don volunteered. He said, I'll draw you up some library plans. He drew up the plans. We got donations, but most of the building was done by volunteer help. On the day that we opened, we had 1,000 square feet. It was just a great time. And I remember the day that we stood here, I looked out the window and we thought of this being our library. And so even though I told the district twice, no, I called them up and said, yep, we're in. And I'm really incredibly grateful. I'm Jill Jean, and I'm the newly retired director for the Kitsap Regional Library. And I am sitting right now in the children's area of this wonderful new library in a place we're calling the Reading Loft. Back when I started for the library assistant, the first person I met was then County Commissioner Patty Lent. And one of the first things Patty and I spoke about was the need for a new Silverdale library. Because Central Kitsap really services almost the entire county, we really knew that what we had was undersized for the community. And we knew that this community deserved a much better library situation. We set it as one of our goals to really make this happen. And although it's taken a very long time, we have realized that goal, and I'm just so happy to be sitting in the new library. The wonderful partnership that we're sharing with the Central Kitsap School District is really what is making this library happen. If we hadn't formed this partnership several years ago, we'd probably still be raising dollars for a library that was going to be located at the corner of Buckland and Blaine. And instead, we're on this wonderful community campus where we have 2,000 students right in our own backyard. And it really will serve as a wonderful spot for the entire community. I think what's so special about this campus, it's got everything the old library did not have. First of all, it has space. It has lots of natural light. It has incredible views of Dyes Inlet. It is, and I'm laughing about this, but it has parking. We have over 100 parking places for the public, a wonderful library collection. We've got our incredible staff to really be servicing the people of the communities. It couldn't be any better than that.
Well, I'm excited to have a library here on campus because having a place to go to study and hang out with friends after school is going to be really nice, especially not having to walk down all the way into town.
We have this much larger space. The front of the building here is probably larger than our old space. After school, they have a place to gather to maybe collaborate on their projects or to study together. And they could fill up the spaces for the afternoon and do their studying before they have to go home or do their collaboration on their projects, which is great.
The libraries play a crucial role in the community in that we're safe and welcoming spaces. My name is Jason Driver, and I'm the new library director for Kitsap Regional Library. And we are sitting here in the brand new Silverdale Library. My impressions of the space is that it's a warm space. I think when patrons walk through the door, they'll feel a sense of welcomeness. And I think it's a space that people can definitely feel invited in. Well, I'm delighted to really take part in all this library has to offer. I think that the real key is going to be the staff that's here to turn the patrons feel welcome, moving from the old Silverdale to the new Silverdale. I want the community to use this as their third home, and that this library is a gift by the community for the community. I want for people, particularly day one, to feel like they have gotten a present. And the present is the physical space and everything contained within it. So it's sort of like a gift that keeps unwrapping. Traditionally, libraries have meant a place of knowledge, place of learning, place of wonderment. From the earliest days of the library, it's been about sharing a book with a patron on a very basic level, being able to meet their learning needs. Libraries, very much from the oldest times, haven't changed in what they provide. And so the shape and form of that may have changed a little bit, but we're available to grow as society grows. So whether that's getting information from a physical book, or it's getting an information from a website, our librarians are here to change with the times. People have the opportunity to use library in new and exciting ways. So I'm really excited about libraries and where they are today in our country, and that all that we have to offer in the future.
And so I hope people will be as excited and really react to this library just like we did when we first saw it and really understand all that it signifies.
Where else can you walk through a door of an institution that doesn't charge you to come in, that will help you try to find whatever you're looking for? And all you have to do to walk out that door with that information is a free library card. What other institutions can you think of that does that? That's why I just love libraries. It serves everybody. We've always had a great library. We've got an even better one now.
So that's just a lovely little video the foundation put together. I think it really gives you all the history. It's really great. Shows how invested the community is in this library as well. And we're excited to serve everyone in the best ways that we can. Any last questions for me? Nope.
I got one question.
Yeah.
My son lives in Silverdale with the Silverdale residency. Could I get him to sign in and use his card number just for
Yes, you could.
research?
Yes,
Good.
absolutely.
Does Kai do that online?
Yes, you can sign up for a library card online. And he could, so there's this tab, if you can see my screen again, in the top corner that's at krl.org that says my account.
Okay.
And if you're not registered for library services, click here to get a card. This is actually a great question because it shows that you can apply online, and as soon as you do, you'll get a digital card that starts working right away for ebooks, e-audiobooks, the databases. And then so you can use those for all the digital resources, and then you can, next time you're here, if you live in the area, or next time your son comes in, he can get a physical card so that he can then check out physical items as well.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for letting me crash your meeting today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for presenting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much, and we will pass that on to Donna and all of your staff. We really appreciate this. It looks like that we found a home after all of the loop around that we've done over the years. And we thank you so much.
We're happy to have you.
Let's give her another hand, okay? Thank you. At this time, we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to have our trustees meeting, and you're all welcome to hang in here and we'll discuss a little bit more, and you may have some ideas and suggestions for it. We have, welcome to our guests. Raise your hand to guests, okay, and you're welcome to join us. And Carol right here will talk to these two ladies right here if you like. They're interested in joining. And you know, I have in listening to this, on the 16th of October, we're going to have a gentleman from Staples come in that knows everything there is to know about cell phones, all types of cell phones, whatever you can do with them. So on the no, I got the wrong date, 17th of October, and we're right here. And we open the door at 10:30. We start at 11. We'll be done at noon, and we're doing well. And you can come in, you can get a library card between now and then. And you might want to just have your library visit around our meeting. How's that? Thanks for coming, folks, and thank you. Okay. We'll take a short break and then we'll get into our trustees meeting. How's that? Okay.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Recording in progress.
We are.
I like your double camera. Your side view and your front view. Hey. Not working.
Can you hear me, Dennis?
I can hear you. Yeah, that thing don't work too well, does it?
Well, I gotta figure out all the buttons I had to.
That's okay. Hi, Pat.
Unmuted.
Hi there, hi Larry. You're
No,
looking good, Dennis.
I'm not in Michigan.
I'm sorry. I had to say hi to all.
Yeah. This is the third time.
You're wanting a picture of the people that are here. Do we want to try to get a photo of the members that are here for the big, for our website? Or do we want to mess with it? Right now, we're talking about a photo for the website, and we have 7 out of 11 here now. I don't know, we may be able to get everybody here someday, but that's what we have. We got a good turnout today for trustees. Al is on chat, and Carolyn has issues with family, I think, and then Mary Ann is probably busy, and John Becker, I don't know, I didn't hear from him.
John texted me. He said the painters are at his house. So he's gonna come today.
Okay, so anyway, I have taken the attendance, and I'll get that to Marilyn, to Lorraine. Welcome, everyone. First of all, this has been an event. I'm very happy, and thanks to Larry and James and everybody that was busy here trying to get this show on the road. We got some glitches that we'll have to go through, but at least, and you know that we had, I think it was
24.
pardon?
24.
24 people. That's great. We're back where we were when we were legal, and it's comfortable, and this is a wonderful venue. And I intend to send a letter on behalf of the KCS to the president, while you're the chairman, because they have bent over backwards to give us the best they could, and now I can see so many things that we can do as a group. I want to go right into the agenda. I got some items here. We got about 8 of them at least, but the biggest one probably, and I think you pretty well have solved this, in that Larry has already indicated you're going to provide James the equipment that's necessary. And James has offered to be our backup, and I think we should always have a backup during our meetings. So if we have a glitch over here, we can get over there. And we're going to fine tune all of this. I know we're hoping I'll help you wherever I can. But we're on the right track to be as we were several years ago. And I think that more people will be coming rather than on Zoom, those that are comfortable. Having said that, then the equipment committee, I think a committee works better than one person. And I would like you two to be part of that committee to communicate and make sure that we have the equipment necessary for the meeting. I would like James Bromley to be on that committee too, if you're willing to, because we need to have it in storage. I think rather than have it go to either of these gentlemen's home, we have a storage place. We should have all of our equipment that's necessary for our meetings there. But it means another pickup. But I will entertain any, that's a committee's organization. If you would want to do something else, or but that was my suggestion. I think a committee of 3 or even 4 would be great. So anybody else that wanted to accept that invitation, then by all means. So at this time, then we'd have James host and Larry and James Bromley on that committee. Does that sound like a winner? And do we need to dwell on any more? That sound good? Because that was my first desire. Pardon me?
Yep. Who's the third one?
James Bromley and Larry.
And James. Okay.
And that's that committee. And I had an email from Pat regarding from old business. I'll go back in there now. I got that one done. regarding bylaws. If any of you do not have the bylaws, I have a copy right here with me, but I can email it to you as an attachment. Just email me and say, I'd like a copy for your record. And I think everyone should have a copy because we make reference to that periodically in our meetings.
Have they changed recently?
No, and
No, but
it will be changing when we have a change of the guard, which is in, by the way, that since I'm mentioning this change of the guard in March, then we're going to have an election. And to my knowledge, the only two that are currently on the board that must leave the board because of our time on the board is Al and myself. Other than that, so you're going to be looking for someone to step up and take charge as the president, and also Al is the first vice president, and BJ is the second vice president. And then we have Lorraine as our secretary and Carol as our treasurer, and we're doing a great job. And you may wish to reach out and find someone or at least two people in the membership that would be willing to step up and take our place, because we would have to step, according to the bylaws, we have to step down after our six times, I guess it is, at this position. The next thing is our speaker committee. I've talked about this before, and I've asked BJ to be the chair on this, but I don't like one person on that, and we need volunteers. John Becker has been communicating with me, and he said that he would try to get somebody in November. I don't have anybody in November. I do have the speaker for next month on the 17th, and from Staples, and he's coming. And I don't have the name yet, but I'll have that information to you to be into the newsletter. So they plan to get that to me this week or next to present latest. And he will be speaking on cell phones. He's not going to sell them. He's going to be talking about different types and what they can do, what their features are. From what I understand, he's very knowledgeable. And I got him out of the Port Orchard Staples to come forward. Yes.
After seeing this lovely site and all of the electrical outlets, I think one of the things that I think would go over well would be, instead of having a person speak, to either have it this month, you bring your cell phone and we're going to work on solving any problems or adding to what you do on yours or whatever. So it's a working thing. The same thing with the computers. I think we don't have to look for people to speak when we have people who need to have work done on their computers, because we can practice every month and then forget how to do it and have to turn around and learn that all over again.
I think you're on the same page as John Becker, and I appreciate your comments. So in our newsletter article there, we'll encourage those that want help on their cell phones to be present on the 17th of October.
I think that's true, but then if he has a presentation, I don't know what his focus is.
I don't
so
either.
that's a
Yeah,
problem.
I don't have that yet.
But it's more like Larry can't do the Friday things anymore that were very popular, weren't they, Larry, at the library?
Right.
That instead we could have it. We meet once a month. This is what we do. And there would be camaraderie, there would be interaction, people would get to know each other.
Lorraine, I think that you're touching on maybe a change, and maybe you're hearing it too. Rather than have a general membership meeting, have more of a class.
Yeah, yeah.
And if we do that, then we will look at the bylaws and see where that stands. But I think that's a good point, and we may be going in that direction. How do you feel about that, Larry? You've been president. What do you think about it?
I gotta think about that one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's a direction that we should go.
Okay,
I think we should have classes at some point, but I'm not sure that should replace the general meeting.
hey,
Well, it shouldn't replace the general meeting, but it could be that first hour that we gave to her today could be, helping everyone. And it could be that I don't have a question that month, so I'm gonna come a little late, but I'm gonna be here for the general meeting that's gonna discuss. And it's just a thought that, that's a good thought. Well, and here's what I heard from someone. And I know this is from a while ago, but I didn't respond to this person. If you're a member of another group or you volunteer, if you say what that group is, somebody's gonna say, yeah, but when they always have something. So this person said to me, oh, those people, they don't know anything more than I know. I went there and no one could answer my question. And I just zipped my lip and I didn't say a word other than I said, there are several who come and who are very knowledgeable. Perhaps you got the wrong person. So that's what I'm saying. There's that perception out there that we're doing nothing. And maybe we need to get that changed. Slowly, people are getting like Mary Ann's class, learning about that. But even so, now it's the same sort of people, except every once in a while we get somebody new. And the same way in your forum. It's basically the same people, but every once in a while we get somebody new. Somebody hears something and they're wanting to hear, or they're afraid. Now I have one question, Larry, that I have not asked with regard to in the forum that has to do with my computer. And I'm very hesitant to ask it because at this point in time, it's like, why is that there? And I'm trying to figure it out myself. So that's what I'm saying.
I think on a general membership meeting, of course, I'm thinking of Don Braun. By the way, I was hoping Don would make it here. But he's in a home now. I mean, his son is taking care of his home. And so I think he's mobile to a point. But anyway, his point was many times over, every general membership meeting should be something regarding electronics, nothing else, like a speaker, like the mayor coming, or maybe me coming in with AARP, which I'm an instructor on that too, and I'd like very much to get that information out and give you maybe a brief, but that might be something that the general membership would want and would tune into, but maybe that's the way the general membership meetings were. We've been in and out of this for years, haven't we, Larry? So I don't know. I think it's pretty much a general presentation rather than electronic always. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I think we need a variety.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
that's,
The classes are going, and I had this one lady bending my ear over here about the gentlemen that are working with the cell phones or something in Old West Park or something, where they had difficulty
yes.
parking and
They
all
do
that.
huh?
And it was a difficult situation, and they couldn't find a parking place,
Yeah.
and then it was just too much turmoil. And she found another group that was about 4 or 5 people, and they're meeting now, and I gave her my email, give me information and I'll help. But everybody's on a different learning pattern, whatever it might be cell phone, computer, whatever. But yeah, the classes are all beneficial, and I think that John Becker was on that same page too, that now that we have this room, that, there might be that there would be an opening where they could have that on a periodical basis. KCS
Yeah,
sponsored,
periodically.
KCS sponsored. So it's something we can work on. But I think we're in a change mode, and all of this information, we just log it in and attempt to get it focused and programmed with the venue. We're lucky to get this venue for our general membership and the trustees.
So
So-
I'll just sit here on the computer. I think rather than have a mini workshop or phone or computer question during the general meeting, we could perhaps do a pre-education meeting starting at 10:30 that runs for half an hour. That was from Al.
Hey, Larry? What I do is with the senior center, I tell them, okay, at this meeting, anybody that's gonna need any help with a specific problem with a smartphone, so I get people, I know ahead of time what their problem is, so I can spend 20 minutes or 15 minutes on a specific topic, not just hit and miss whoever comes in. So maybe when you put your newsletter out for the month, saying we got 20 minutes of smartphone training with smartphones only. Don't come and ask me questions about an iPad. It's only smartphones. That way there, you know ahead of time, you got a smartphone for that 20 minutes. The next meeting, make an iPad. And if the people could call one of you board members to get a heads up or designate somebody to have that, call that person, say, what is your problem? What is it you need? Well, come on into the meeting for the first 20 minutes. We're going to do this. I find that works pretty well for myself, but.
I was just curious if we had problem with open forum in the past, if it was just an open floor for any questions, or maybe it could be dual purpose, start with an agenda, and if there's no questions there, open it up, or I make sure that time's useful for everyone, because if we're a half an hour before the general meeting, I mean, we're going to be setting up and trying to be busy for that meeting too.
Yeah,
So that's going to push everything earlier.
yeah. I would like to insert here and say, why don't we have a few people volunteer to be on that committee, steering committee, to arrange for speakers, and if you want a combination at the general membership, that's just fine. But we need to have a committee that's really focused on that particular subject, that particular area. So are you willing to be the chair and get input from others, or how do you feel about that, being the second vice?
And talk today. Yeah, I would volunteer. I mean, I'm inclined to volunteer to be the head of that committee, but I have questions too on the major one as far as our speakers go. Should they be focused on one topic like KCS stands for, you know? Or can they come in and just speak just about any topic that they choose?
I think the committee should make a decision on this and present it to us so that we can get set up for it, and we have time for the November meeting. And James Becker, or John Becker, said that he had somebody in mind, but he probably would be willing to be on the committee because he's interested in a variety of presentations. But we don't want to get away from what Larry said as far as general membership meeting to be for, everyone and not focus on a particular item at this point.
Okay, well, if I'm the head of a committee to find a speaker, to find speakers for us, then I do need someone to work with.
Well, anybody want to work with DJ on this, because we really need to have some it's been a research on my part to try to keep things going and with a speaker coming in, and at the last minute I decided I'd go with Staples because we had them before and he had a good presentation, and I thought, well, let's do it. Everything that was coming at me was cell phone, so I knew there were classes going on, but maybe the general membership could get an overview of the different cell phones and what they're capable of doing, maybe have similarity. So that's why I got that one for October. The reason why we should have at least 3 speakers in advance. So we can do some tooling here. If somebody's ill, we can slip in number 2 rather than number 1 and get that information. And I always send out with a CC to Larry so he gets it to put it in a newsletter. We need to have an advanced communication with our membership. So I would hope we could get a committee to work on that. Anybody else wanna do that? We've got John, but, Dennis, are you interested in that?
No,
Oh, thank you.
What's that?
Pat,
no.
Pat, are you interested?
No, I've already told you.
Yeah, I thought you would, yeah. So, we're all busy. And I try to insert and help wherever I can, but these are a lot of things that are going on. My next item on the agenda is Sheridan Park, and this is with Al now. Meeting room status, I think we talked about a little bit. Just as an insert, you said, I think we should leave everything alone as it is right now and see how it works at Silverdale Library, and we may want to back up or go forward. Do you want to keep a communication with the Parks and Recreation? How do you feel about that? We get a chat on him? Is Al on the chat?
He has it right here.
Hey, Kelly.
He's been typing. So.
Yeah,
he's
he's
got
got
a
he
type
had
of
surgery on his throat.
Yes, I will keep up communication with them.
At this point, then we do have the storage, but I guess I'm gonna deviate from that question to the New Horizons program, which the complications haven't gone away. You still don't have internet connections with that room that we have, which is storage for not only the you, but also for the office of material equipment.
Well, it looks like we're kind of at a dead end as far as
Well,
park goes.
we've been knocking this one for so long, and I as a member, I think it's unkind to have you carry the load and have to do it at home. I think that if it's an organization, we should find some place for it and a place where you can work. I tried it, the church, it didn't work, anyway, but we wanted to be comfortable to not make that change at that point. And the trustees at the church changed their mind. I won't go back to them at this point, but I could. But I think that I need an input as to how you feel about this. Do we want to help Jim, or do we want him to struggle and try to keep in his, the New Horizons may go away down the road. You mentioned this, computers are probably going to go away once all of this technology works in, and laptops, I think, are still going to be around for a while. But what's your point here on this? Do you think we're going to have a lifelong life?
Well, it's probably gonna have to change to a certain extent. I don't know, desktops, I'm not even taking desktops anymore. I don't have the space for them. I don't have much of a demand for them.
They're not a common, when somebody goes out to get a computer, unless they're playing video games, the market for desktops is very small.
Yeah,
Everyone wants a portable laptop, if anything, and anyone 20, 30 years or younger, this is their computer.
right. And so along those same lines, I think the Horizons are gonna have to evolve into phones, it's gonna have to evolve into iPads. And stick with laptops. I think we got a future of laptops for the time being. I don't have the expertise with phones or iPads, so we would have to have people involved with New Horizons that have that expertise. How do we take used phones? What do we do with, if somebody wants to
I'm
donate
not
a used phone?
sure that, that's a hard market for us to be getting into, because there's such a phone refurbishing is not as easy as desktops.
Yeah,
Right,
right.
it's pretty much they work or they don't,
Right,
and then I don't know, I'm not trying to poo-poo the idea, it's a very heavy lift to properly support phones, and most everybody already has their own.
sure.
I think laptops is a good focus point, because you still, if you're going to try to look for a job, searching for, putting out your resume, editing your resume, that's really hard to do on a phone.
Yes.
So you do need a laptop. That market is going to stay there. I definitely agree that desktops are probably going the way of the dodo for most people. And the questions we'll get are like, do you have any desktops? My kid wants to play games. Maybe that's not what we're trying to enable.
Well, I've had a
Well, we'll do that.
limited use for desktops, and that is certain organizations. Good example of that is a brand new school that I gave some desktops to, that's just started here in the county. Permanent Housing Authority has taken desktops for their senior living properties, and then they've contracted out instruction on those, using those desktops for residents of the building, okay? We've done the same thing with Housing Kits app in the past. If an organization wants to set up a lab where their, say, homeless clients can come in and access a computer, desktops are a good
Absolutely.
option for that, okay? But certain very specific targeted organizations can take desktops.
How many
But,
do we have?
pardon me?
How many desktops do we still
Oh,
have?
geez, I think that's
That sounds like more than.
30 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
30.
Well, you're
So
looking
I'm
for-
just not even bothering with it anymore.
Yeah.
I've got more than I can handle.
well,
Okay.
then we need to.
Laptops, I
portable,
always
you
look
know.
for laptops.
I can remember, way back when we had them down there on 4th Street, and it was a mess, and I ended up taking my van, and somebody in the organization was there, and we took them over to the Tacoma and, turned them in for recycle. So we get too much stuff that we don't need and get rid of it.
Yeah.
But as far as laptops, did we use laptops at the old, Oasis, Coffee Oasis?
What's that?
The Coffee Oasis, was that laptops that we took there? At the
What you
Coffee
gave me,
Oasis?
Coffee Oasis, was that a laptop or?
Oh, Coffee Oasis?
Yeah,
Yeah, we gave them, I think, about 15 or 16 laptops.
laptop. So there is a desire, maybe around Kitsap County, where we could refurbish them.
Yeah, I've got to, things have slowed down. gonna have to go out and beat the bushes a little bit again. I've got contacts at some of these organizations. I can give them a call and say, hey, we're still here. What are your needs? It's that rescue mission now is out in Port Orchard. They've actually contracted with the county.
not there
They've got a
yet.
homeless shelter up there now.
Yeah,
They've contracted out with the county, and so I need to talk to their new executive director and see what their needs are now too. So,
But
They're not there yet.
Dennis,
they're still not there yet.
They're up there for the.
That was supposed to be in place last spring.
The county,
Permitting, go through.
yeah, permitting and everything and the funding,
So they still in the hotel down there on, it's that way?
yes.
Pat has had her hand raised for a while.
Well, that's all right. I didn't know if Jim could see me. I was trying to, hey, it's my recollection that you stated a while back that you can only update with 10, right? You said you wouldn't be able to get 11.
No, I got nothing on 111.
So that tells us somewhat too, or where we're headed. I know 10, 11 just started, but
We've got some breathing room on 10. I think Microsoft's what, another 5 years of support on 10. Okay, so we've got some breathing room.
5 years.
The question's going to be though, what happens after that? And
Right.
the current and the inventory, we'll probably get a lot of laptops that'll only run 10. Just because people are updating, hey, I want to get Windows 11, my machine won't run Windows 11. Will Microsoft ever loosen up their technical requirements for 11? Who knows?
Yeah.
That might change too as we get closer to the end of 10. But there's a couple of items there that are absolute must in order to run 11. I don't know what's going to happen. To tell you the truth, I really don't.
So Al just said here, I suggest we leave it as is for now. One concern I have is that if we break off our meeting room contract at Sheridan, how will that affect our supply storage that houses our computers? Finding a place to do New Horizons refurbishing is a real dilemma. We need to have a space 10 by 10 with internet that works for the software that's refurbishing required.
Oh, yeah, that's the bottom line. I mean, you can't even download Windows 10 updates over there. That's how tight their network security is. Okay,
Yeah.
if you
Any,
can't even download updates to 10.
So James, what's your vision for change?
well, I think we need to find, I mean, if it were possible, a new venue. I've exhausted every option for internet at the Levo facility. The last remaining option I had was the internet, the cellular hotspot in the window, which is already poorly performant. And that would cost $65 a month. The only next better option is $150 to $200 a month for commercial grade service. Nobody seemed willing to extend nonprofit or community level pricing. And the restrictions at the Levo facility on their network made it very difficult for us to work around on their network. They were very agitated at the notion of us ever interconnecting to their private network, and even just running a cable that could plug in. They were hesitant towards, which made it difficult for us to bring in Comcast or anyone else because it would be in that same data closet. I don't know how difficult it would be to find another venue, but at this point, I don't have any good options to bring Levo up to the standard we needed. Which, I mean, that's not a great vision. That's just the reality of that situation, though, is that it's kind of a dead end. Unless we wanted to shell out a lot of money. I mean, we could solve this by money, but $200 a month is, $2,400 a year. That's way more than I think the program is
Well, you'd be
justified.
basically doubling your New
Yeah.
Horizons budget.
It's not justified, so. It's not the best news.
Which means probably, I don't, yeah.
So we have the problem, how are we gonna solve it?
So we need a place, I'm trying to put this in perspective. We need a place that's at least 10 by 10, is what I'm hearing, with good internet. Is that just to work on, or is that to store them also?
I would say store them also, everything
10
out of
by
one,
10
everything
would
out of
do
one
it.
location. I'm doing everything out of one location now, my garage. Okay,
Yeah.
so one location, yeah.
How
And it
much
would also,
space?
it could also even be a place where people can drop off their donations. If
Oh,
we
well.
establish office hours, we
Yeah.
can do that. Right now, PC Parts and Service is doing that for us.
So we might want to recontact the community, because we're kids at community, and see if they've got a place they'll let us do that in.
Saying, we need to think outside the box with regard to some place that has just 10 by 10.
Right, well, I don't think we should limit ourselves to 10 by 10.
Well, let me do a little measuring. I think I might need a little more room than
I
that.
think so, we're talking about your garage.
Let me hear BJ.
Saying that actual size that you just mentioned, 10 by 10, might mean a studio somewhere, an apartment, that kind of housing.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
it's got
about
big
that
rent on
size.
that.
And studio apartments will be maybe a shed or something somewhere that's well built, then you and whatever, that will,
But when you're looking, you may want to do something where the host is also going to benefit. In other words, there's an opportunity for your banner or whatever outside. And then through the internet and all, they're gaining information out about their business, whatever
Oh,
it
sure.
might be. If you work that way, then there's a win-win on both sides.
Well, that's kind of the way it would be that's kind of the way I think it is with PC Parts and Service, okay? I'm advertising their business every time somebody sends me an email, hey, I got a computer to donate. I say, well, we take computers at PC Parts and Service, here's their address, their phone number, give them a call, let them know that you're dropping off a computer for Kitsap Community Seniors. So I guess they're probably getting a little mileage out of it, I don't know.
Would you like me to talk to the mayor and see if he has any ideas on where we might go?
Oh, sure.
I can do that.
Yes, that would be wonderful.
I'll do it. And then I'll get
Maybe
back.
he's got a room, over.
There we go.
Over in the,
Yeah, in the
over
tower.
in the big building.
Right.
downtown.
I'll take that on as a project.
Well, we tried that one church. We
I
haven't
know.
tried any other churches.
That's true.
Maybe
I
we
was thinking
should,
of that, our saviors. I
yeah,
know they already ran out of space to us, Sons of Norway. And, you know, that,
they got a big parking.
it's a big church and they have a declining thank you, congregation, because we're all getting older.
Maybe the church in Silverdale might be a good thing for us.
Or-
not.
Someplace out here, I'm not too familiar. Another one would be, and this is not now, but I'm on the Salvation Army board, and we are going to be acquiring some property, but it is not right now, won't be until the end of the year.
Right. No.
And then it has to be remodeled. But I know one of the things that we have talked about is that we will have a lab for serving the people. So instead of just feeding them, we're trying to get them off the street.
Right. Yeah.
But that's down the road.
Al did say that, redefine the 10 by 10 by something that you think is the
More
correct.
reasonable.
I
I want
wanted
to get the old
to-
measuring tape out and I'll,
Email me what you want, and
I
I
can
can
do
tell the
that.
mayor what we want.
I like the notion of a church where we do a dual purpose, where we can come to an agreement where if you let us use this storage cabinet and internet for our organization, we will ensure that these 3 or 5 public workstations for your church community always are working, always are up to date. We'll take care of these and you can use them for your congregation if we get the back room for our purposes and we'll
That's
meet
why
in
I'm
the middle.
looking at the
Thank you.
Salvation Army, because
go back to your church trustees with that deal, let's see what
Sure,
they're saying.
sure, okay, yeah, I'll try it.
the point there would be most of those people who go to church have a home
Right.
and would want to use their computer at home.
Sure, but I mean, like, for the, do these not, I thought they, we just said that they offer like food lines, et cetera, for the community, right? Like, if they did
No,
other
this is-
outreach.
Salvation Army is.
Oh,
different.
Salvation, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking just like generic church.
Yeah.
That's good.
I wanted to ask, did I hear you say you were going to talk to the mayor?
Yeah.
My suggestion would be to go to the county commissioner.
Okay.
Because that
Yeah,
covers. the
commissioners helped us before, yeah,
This is where we went before.
yeah, I remember
this
that
is
day.
where- yeah.
those days.
It's not the mayor. it's-
All right, I'll go to the commissioners,
Yeah, it's the county commissioner. We went in.
probably them first, huh?
Ed Wolf. I
Ed will
think.
go to him before
We had a committee that,
because he's not running again, so he'll be out soon. So go ask him now.
Yeah, now it's time to cash in favors.
get her foot inside the door,
Yeah.
right?
Okay,
And emphasize that he was so helpful, because actually he enabled us to get the 2 offers.
who was?
Ed Wolf,
Oh, okay.
well, the commissioners.
Oh, okay,
What was that place over in Port Orchard that we looked at that was out in the Dingles? There was that, and then Sheridan Park, to my recollection, so I would go to the county commission.
And he's the central Kitsap
Yes,
commissioner, so if there is something around here, it would fit in with, where do you live?
okay.
Out in the
I'm
city.
over by the fairgrounds.
Al, what do you think about that?
Yeah. What
We'll
about
follow
the space at the fairgrounds?
Yeah, what about a space?
Yeah. Well, we're right close to the time, it's supposed to be wrapping up, of course, we didn't have our full hour, but we've been quite busy today. So what I'm seeing here today is we're happy here. for our general membership and trustees meeting. Really uptown, isn't it? Yeah, so now we need to take care of the New Horizons program. We've talked about it too long, so we'll do the best we can.
Okay, I'll say, good idea.
All right, I'm just about to say, I'm done and you can throw anything else you like. I got a hold of Doug, and he hadn't got back to me yet, but he was going to be, looking for someone to come in in January. Because we lost our Don that was giving us all the tax information. He's passed. And so Doug is working, and I'll get back to Doug on that for the January meeting. November meeting, I'd like to see us have something in the next 30 days so that we can program this into the November newsletter as to who's going to be a speaker. I'm going to leave that one alone. And then the last one is that I think this would be a great place to have a Christmas party. What do you think? That would be our meeting, our general membership meeting. And my thought is this, we don't need a trustees meeting. I think your president can take care of all of the things that need to be done, like selecting a nominating committee and an audit committee and all of that stuff. That's the only thing that the president does during the December area. So I would think just a Christmas party here if you like, and Santa Claus will come if you like.
Okay,
Then
I'll
that's
just
the
say,
42.
I thought we weren't having a meeting in January, sorry. Please let me know the meeting schedule again.
Oh, we're not going, we were at one time not going to have one in December. We may not want. We may say, no, nothing, but January is when we're going to have the tax presented, I hope. And so then all we're looking at is February and March. And be thinking about that because we need to have those speakers
So,
at least 90 days in advance so that we can manipulate them if necessary, if there's illness or whatever it might be.
so then, as far as speakers, know what I know now, I did try last year, I think I told you, I probably told more people. But you know, I have 4 contacts at OC and I contacted them and they contacted their people and nobody volunteered.
Yeah, yeah. We did have a good connection with the college, and I think we should probably consider that again, communicating with them. And if some of these college students might be something that we could consider having them come in and give us a little input on their knowledge of 11 or whatever, you know, they're going to school.
So now it's just Dennis and me.
And who else? Anybody else? We need
a
at
third
least 3 or
person.
4 on the committee.
Pardon? Sorry.
We need at least 3 or more on the committee.
And then
So,
from John
Dennis,
Becker.
Dennis volunteered, right, Dennis,
Yeah.
Dennis and
And
me.
John Becker.
John Becker.
John Becker,
Oh,
that's
John
right.
Becker.
You got John, yeah. Anybody else want to jump on that committee? Other than that, that's all I have on my agenda today. Anybody
they
have
got the
something else?
treasurer's report.
I'll put it in there.
Carol's gonna get the treasurer's report.
Yeah, I know she's gonna do that,
Okay.
but anything else on the agenda? Yeah, I wanted it in our general membership meeting, but you know how it works. So I just filled in with what we can do for everybody and what's coming. But, any other items?
I just
Yeah.
got a
I have a question. Who all has keys to get in over at Sheridan Park for getting in the kitchen? Because if we're gonna have coffee, it sounded like for this next time, is that what we're gonna do for the meeting?
Jim, could you bring coffee pots or whatever for this next meeting?
I don't have anything to do with the kitchen.
Our coffee pot's over at Sheridan.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's probably that storage room.
Yeah, yeah. You can get in the storage room. I think I have a key too, I'm not sure.
Well, it's just a combination lock.
I thought
You
we
want
got rid of the
combination?
coffee pots.
What?
I thought we got rid of the coffee pots.
I got the combination.
I don't know.
It's real easy.
Well,
Yeah, I had a key to a file cabinet that was in there.
I
my,
Yeah,
never
the keys
keys,
to the
so-
file cabinet, it's hanging on a nail in that little back room there. And you get into the get in the filing cabinet, then you can get into everything else.
I would suggest if you're going to put the equipment we need for the meeting in that room, that at that time, you get whatever we need in the way of coffee, hot water, whatever that we have there, and then we can move anything else out of there later, but it's nice to have coffee and cookies, you know, or
I
something.
think we have our cups and things.
Yeah.
down there.
I can meet with you if you want to, we can pull it out of there and work with it. Let me know when you're gonna go down there, but my
Yeah.
time is limited
Well,
too.
yeah, don't overload yourself. Your wife's in the hospital.
That's right, I'm in the
Take care of
hospital.
that.
I keep volunteering and I don't have that much time. Maybe
Well,
somebody
I-
else can help you.
That's why I asked. I
Yeah.
would go. If I
Oh,
could get
okay.
from somebody, or maybe I can get the combination from you.
Yeah, once you get,
And if I get in, I know where the keys are from where.
once you give
Well,
me.
good.
I'm here too.
Yeah.
Like, I can.
Yeah.
Once you send me an email through KCS New Horizons
Okay,
at Gmail,
okay,
and then we'll get together on that then.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah, no, that's why I
so,
asked. I
so,
was gonna
good,
volunteer.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Pat, you're gonna give the. Carol, you're
Hey,
gonna
you're
give
gonna
the,
give this, secretary, the financial report now.
Okay, well, today we took in $120 in cash for people paying their dues.
yes, Al, I paid my dues.
Mine's coming.
As of the last day of August, we had in our checking account $4,604.52. And in the savings account, $12,048.13, which is 31 cents in interest that we made during the month. And Lorraine, did you get those from Larry? Okay. And then today, Jim Fromling just turned in a whole stack of New Horizons invoices that I'm going to make a spreadsheet and send him a check for. And he mentioned that he's probably used up most of the New Horizons budget with the stack of invoices that I need to reimburse him for.
Final note, here, James, I think that would be beneficial and he probably will want a work party. Try to clean out his garage of the things that we don't need anymore. And that'll be a good step for New Horizons. That's a start. And,
Actually, I was gonna volunteer in the basement of Larry's house, but he probably wouldn't go for that.
It's filled with
You're
her stuff.
talking to the wrong person. You gotta talk to.
That's right, I have to clear it with you.
thanks again to
Okay,
everyone
I
today.
won't be here next
Yeah,
week.
I've got one comment that I like to make for Larry. Larry, doesn't Mary Ann work with Goodwill and have a computer area that they teach computers?
No,
No,
Oh, I thought you had that big room back there.
the Goodwill isn't doing it anymore.
no, Goodwill isn't doing it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do we have a volunteer for secretary next month? Lorraine will be away.
How long will we be gone? We could,
I'm just gonna be incapacitated.
thinking we could just record it and you could do it off the recording.
I don't know how long that's my problem, so.
Could I get access to the recording?
Sure.
Of course. I'll do it.
Thank you, Val. Thank you. Any other comments? And we'll wrap it up, folks, and we gotta be out here at 1:30, so I think we're doing quite well. And thanks again for everything that you've done, James, and Larry, thanks for hanging in here with the trustees. We got a lot of work done, and we got a lot of work to do, so see you next month.
Okay, everyone, we're signing off.
We're done.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, Dennis.
Bye.
Bye, Pat.
You know, for better or worse, this new